I'm resisting the urge to call him a goddamn coward right now, guys. We're doing one more showcase of Persia. We had to get him in. He turned up in the chat. Corvinus was begging for someone to fight against. Corvinus, a.k.a. Salami, the original Delhi Lord, is here to give his humble opinion on a Delhi variant. This is not Delhi Sultanate, folks. This is Persia. And that is, of course, the Elephant Lord himself. No elephants here, mind you. The Persian variant does not have any elephants to speak of, but they do have some camels. And Gully, are you kidding me, dude? Like, you won the show match. Chill, bro. Why? He picks HRE. This is, I'm pretty sure at this point it's fair to say Gully Deckel's signature civ. A little bit dirty of him. But we are going to be playing on Pigeon's View. They didn't have to do that. Shout out to them for doing that. I love that we get a new game on here. This is the map that we've been working on with Kavayu, aka Kayu. It's a better version of High View, in my humble opinion. I'd be saying that even if I didn't make it. 2 sacred sites instead of 3 that are hard to capture, and 2 neutral trade posts that you can't just default to when you want to camp. You have to come out. Much better design for the map. Mwah, big chef kiss. So, let's switch across to the toggle. Remember, the way the game begins is very different for Delhi to a lot of other civs. Most civs start the game with 6 villages. The Persians start the game with 5 villages and a spearman. But spearmen can build structures. And that isn't exactly what's on the mind, actually, of Corvinus right now. Instead, he's attacking. This is interesting because these spearmen are less tanky than standard spears. And they have low damage, right? If you want to start spamming them, they are cheaper. What surprises me a little here, actually, is given the spawn, I would have thought we would have seen an outpost rush coming. But right now, it looks like Corv is instead focusing on getting to feudal age as quickly as possible. This is actually proving really annoying for Gully, though. It's quite a lot of idle time and a lot of damage done, right? And you could get the prelate to heal, but he's going to waste time healing instead of stat boosting. Okay, Corv is actually really out-microing Gully right now. More villagers are going to be pulled. This is where I think you just back away. This is already a win in my eyes, the fact that you forced him to commit this many villagers, unless, of course, this is Fast Castle. In which case, this might be a problem, because I think the current version in Persia has a very slow early game. It's a difficulty to overcome. This matchup, by the way, I actually don't think you can go for the military upgrades with the Gunda Shapur. Because the issue is, like, you can't scale archers. I think archers suck now against HRE here, because although you have the 7 tower range, HRE gap closes too quick. Dude, Gully is such a gremlin, man. I can't believe he picked the HRE. Auto buffs when he heals? Yes, Kaivayu. But remember, like, if a unit is down to half HP, you're going to spend longer healing it than the time it takes to buff, right? You should end up losing a bit of efficiency there, if I'm not mistaken. I tested this a long time ago. I think it's if you're below, like, 30 HP, then you lose some efficiency. So Gundishippo on the way. Arkham from the other side. You know, I really would have loved to have seen Corvinus pull the Spearman back, because he could have been back helping this tech up. He's a builder after all. Right now, he's just full-on idling here. But we have got 5 on wood. This could be an outpost. I'm not expecting it, though. One guy building an outpost up with this many villages nearby is a bit dangerous. Instead, he's just going to go back to being a little bit of a douche. I'm wondering what Corv wants to do here. This is his first time getting hands-on with the Persians. They have a lot of different potential options in feudal age, right? Like, they've got the different form of Ghazi they can scale into. They can sometimes go for the feudal age knights, but that requires the other landmark. They also do have the archers, the extra range. They have the horse archers, the Persian horse archers, which are just better Magadai. So let's find out which way he wants to go. It looks like it's going to be a proxy racks. Guys, it's happening. Oh my god, it's happening. And what is that I'm seeing? He's got the military focus coming. Wait, so is this going to... Oh my god, he's going the Dailams! Yes! So, yes! He needs to hurry up, but this villagers are being pulled. I actually think Gully may have just blocked him. Oh. Wait, Gully's doing this wrong. Like, this is absolutely the wrong way. You need to kill the spearman. One villager shouldn't be quick enough, right? That takes 3 strikes. Oh my god. Dude, he got it up. He even gets away. Okay, guys, this is big. Look at what's coming. It's going to be the Dalam force. This is huge. The Dalams are men-at-arms, but the men-at-arms that you build with this, they have a charge damage increase of 3 times, right? Your base damage is 10, but your charge damage is 35, if I remember correctly. We'll double check that in a set. We'll double check our numbers. But this is what I was highlighting. It's like the Persians have some interesting strategies around charge-based units. This is going to be cool. Different approach, right? We didn't see this at all. Thank you. Hostin's confirming. It's 25 in Feudal. 35 in Castle. Yes, thank you very much. But 25 is still pretty damn good, right? You get 2 of these guys, you get in charge radius. All of a sudden, you one-hit a villager. Outpost now coming up, so gold being denied. It means Gully is going to have to play the Age. One thing that worries me, though, is you're going to need more than just the Dailams to win this. Because HRE marching to archers can just kite you and kill you. It's going to be very difficult. He's going to need a second component. He can go archers, though. That's the idea of this military wing that's good, right? Is you decrease the wood cost of the archers. It's still HRE economy, right? And you're basically paying the same for archers that have more range, but they have more gap close. But the thing I like about that build is that the Dailams get forced to commit into, right? If you go marching to archers and you just try to rush the 7-tower range Persian archers, you're going to have to run into the men-at-arms. So that's the idea, I think, behind this comp. This should be Dailams, outpost, and then archery range. Men-at-arms on men-at-arms action in Feudal. I don't think Gully wants to engage with it because the start of that fight hurts a lot. Look at the stats on this. So 8 damage into 25, right? So 25 and then the 8 damage follow-up. Like, these stats are pretty damn good. And yes, their spears can make all types of buildings. And they're cheaper, by the way. Their stats are worse, but they only cost 65 resources. Oh, wow. Okay, that I wholly did not expect. He's actually going for the stables. I mean, I guess it's a better way of dealing with the archers, right? Like, you go for the dive comp. What is interesting here, actually, is I just realized Sharp Shamshir is kind of OP. If you scale a lot of men-at-arms, if you're long feudal, the torch damage increase with mass men-at-arms, the health, the damage, it's kind of insane. It's like a mini Castle Age effect. And yes, this is something I did Theorycraft, is the idea that you can go age-free with mass spears with Natchia Castle. I think someone is going to try that eventually. I don't know if Corv is aiming for it in this game, though. Alright, so it looks like he is going for the discount Ghazi. These are the Mace Husman. Yeah, the Dailami have the health of a Ghazi, the base damage of a Horseman, but this is a really cool build, actually, because I just realized this counters archers and men-at-arms. These guys get +6 heavy damage with 9 base. So now if your opponent goes for Spearman, you have the Dailam Swordsman. And if they go for anything else, you have the Dailami. That's kind of cool, right? It's not foolproof because this is the economy of the HRE, and we are already seeing a gold gather on the backside. So it looks like Gully is just not going to engage with it. It's going to build a few archers, but then go for a tech up. But I love the fact that Corv is doing the same. He doesn't have the spear count to rush the defensive landmark in the enemy base. Does he Ali Kapu here? I've yet to see a single Ali Kapu, but it's pretty strong. Like this, look at these little details here. The interesting thing, a little bit of spelling error there. I love unlocking myself. But the interesting thing is that it's trade with quite a few tweaks and benefits. You can get the 40% increased gathering rate, the trade bags tech, but you can also get the French guild tech that gives trickling gold. And yes, 8 armor traders on top of that. I mean, if he doesn't go, I'm going to be surprised. I imagine Corv is the type of player looking at right now, stroking his chin. Might be he cares more about relics, though. We're about to find out. Food and gold where it needs to be. Gully on the other side, almost ready for his own tech up. And it is going to be the standard. The Nakia Castle coming out. So remember, this has a few interesting tweaks to it. You can get blacksmith techs out of it. You get unique techs, things like increasing attack speeds on men-at-arms and swordsmen. You can get +3 ranged armor to things like your archers. And on top of that, when you eventually have to upgrade your units into vet status, instead of doing it out of the TC with the dynasty tech here, you can do it out of the Natchia Castle instead. Gully, it's gonna be a Burrave spam. Okay, this game is full of twists. I never expected that detail. Archers were trying to get cheeky, but Dailami are going to be there to block it out. So it looks like Gully's going to have to stay at home. But Burrave spam. The farm count isn't crazy, right? He's up to 10 so far. He's only got 3 sheep in reserve. He's gathering the berries. He at least did get that in range of the Archon, so that's quite nice for him. But this doesn't feel like a very strong Burrave play. The question now is whether the Persians in the mid game are good enough to offset this. Yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed by this build as well. I'll have to see what he's got in mind. Archer range already being built up now on the front line. It's going to take so long to get the flood. What's interesting to me as well is I think Corvinus knows it's coming. He hasn't bothered to spend any of this resource yet for the tech up. So this could be Safavid Savars, which are basically heavily armored Ghazi, which is insane to think about, by the way. It's a knight that has plus 12 heavy damage, or it can just be crossbows. And it looks like the archer range might be the correct call here, because men-at-arms plus crossbows now coming from Gully. Makes sense, right? He's already seen archers, so he knows Gully has the capacity for range units. And yes, you're seeing that correctly. The Persians have armor-clad. Is he really going to men-at-arms spam him? No. I think it might be knights plus crossbows. Going down, the outpost coming in. Corvinus needs units ASAP. This is feeling way too slow. Like, Burrave ramps you up so quickly by comparison. Crossbow's going to come out, already a waste. Oh, guys. A good idea, but now it's already starting to feel like it's falling apart. Unless Corvinus goes for the relics, I don't really see the winning play here. Wow. He's just kind of hard stuck here, right? Food, gold being gathered. Is he rushing him? You've got to be kidding me. He's rushing him. No. You... There's no way. Well, neither of these are a defensive landmark, right? So that won't work. Oh, he was getting the Safavid Dynasty. Yeah, that's kind of a tough thing that we highlighted, right? It's like, if you want to play feudal units in Castle, you have to go back for this. As long as there's 2 units you want, it's worthwhile. But if there's only 1 unit you want, it feels really, really expensive. Arguably, it feels expensive either way, right? Like, you're idling out unless you have the Natchir for 3 villages worth. Luckily, he has this, so he doesn't have to miss out on eco. But Gully, now already moving across the map. Men-at-arms numbers are growing in Corvinus. What's the plan here? I'm assuming it's going to be... No, it can't be knights, because he already had the knight upgrade in, right? He had them castle form. So it has to be men-at-arms. So what's convincing him that the men-at-arms at the Delhi, the Persians rather, are going to be better than the HRE ones? Because they've already got heavy maces and two-handed, right? So this is going to be an absolute bludgeoning. Well, that explains it all. Are you kidding me? Okay, no, this is sick. This is actually sick. He's going for Persian horse archers. They're very fragile, but this tech makes the difference. He can get +3 ranged armor on them. These archers haven't been upgraded. The crossbows only have 12 base damage. So you can negate a decent chunk of what comes your way. Remember, this is basically the scale armor of the Order of the Dragon, but for Mangadai. That's wild. Dive coming in, though. It's going to come at a cost. Gully now 10 villages ahead and already picking up relics. I mean, the idea is cool, but I'm wondering if the timing is too delayed. This is a cool way of dealing with men-at-arms, by the way. You have 12 base damage, so 2/3 of your damage is going through their armor. And yeah, there it is. It's still armor. Okay, this is actually a pretty cool build. I couldn't even really see what the path was here, but now that I see it, there's a window, guys. And this is very snowbally. If he waits until he's got about 12 to 15 of these Persian horse archers and springs the trap, he can then dive Gully's base and kill him. Because these Mangadai hit hard. They hit for 14 base damage, 85 health. And yes, they are correctly compared to Mangadai because they shoot on the go. And if he's willing to spend an extra 30 gold on top of the 140 cost, he can decrease their attack speed from 3 seconds to every 1.5 seconds. Gully doesn't see the Persian horse archers yet. Gully, by the way, is going for him. So I actually think what's going to happen here is that Corvinus is going to head straight for the economy. And if he gets the timing right here, he can grief the tech timing. He can actually deny Gully Deckle entirely. 5 of these guys will just completely evaporate villages. There's no textiles. Oh my god. Well, at least I'll bring up the relic, so that's a big edge for Gully. But remember, it's not as big as it normally would be. 5 relic game with Regnitz is GG. This is 5 relic with Burrave at this rate. Outpost is going to reveal the plan, though. Gully should be able to garrison side. Corvinus moving in range. He's going to start sniping. Gully yet to react. Instead, he's diving. That's a defensive landmark, though. It's tough to get in on. In the meantime, a lot of eco is going to be lost on the other side of the map because there's no reaction coming out of Gully. He needs to overwhelm and kill eco to trade out here. Corv still is getting the value. Just 4 of these Persian horse archers are sweeping through the food. Other side, men-at-arms at least trying to dive in. No textiles tech coming out, but a lot of time being wasted burning buildings here. This is not the play, Gully. You need to go past. Spearmen are now at least going to arrive. A little bit of a miss micro there as Corvinus runs into the spears with an 85 HP unit. So he does pay a price. All of a sudden, that eco lead that was getting out of control has been somewhat stabilized here. But it's about to get worse for Corvinus. Men-at-arms now in onto the gold. And Corv so busy microing the last 2 horse archers, he doesn't know. Oh my god, that's it. That's it. It's over. Palace of Swabi's on the way. It's almost a 15 villager lead already. It is a 15 eco lead. It was a cool idea by Corv, but now the problem is you're about to dive into static emplacements. This is going to be cannon emplacements. And those cannon emplacements are going to one-hit the Persian horse archers. I just don't see the way now. He has brought up the gold for the volley, so he can at least snipe out the men-at-arms. My concern is, how the hell do you now address the economy? Nah, I gotta give credit to Corv, though. He made this look a lot closer than was expected. Like, based on that show match, we were ready to say, nah, there's no play at all, right? Like, this Civ needs a buff. But when you consider that he was up against the HRE on a player who spams HRE, who got top 10 on the leaderboard by playing HRE, and he made it look somewhat close here. That's impressive. Horse archers now moving across. Gully is just prepping Spearmen. You have got good movement speed to back away, but 1.72 on the charge means Spearmen can gap close, and if you're slow on the reaction, you will lose them. So you need to be very careful. These fragile and expensive Persian horse archers. It's not just 140 resources each. He spent the gold for the attack speed increase. These are 170 resource cost units. Full definition glass cannon. 15 damage, 1.5 attack speed, but only 85 health. Corv behind this. No sort of recovery eco yet, but that should be on the way. Stone is being gathered. So dive towards the Palace of Swabia. Mango comes out to scare him away. And, well, there's no emplacements in the outposts. But just a bunch of archer fire should be good enough here. That's an expensive loss for Corvinus. And not really much eco damage done. Gully still 20 villagers up. What is the way back for Corv now? He might have to consider free TC behind this. I think you have to buy a lot of time with the Persian horse archers in the mid-map. That's step 1, right? Like, you actually have to distract for a very long time. The problem is distraction alone isn't good enough, right? You need to be killing economy, because otherwise, Palace of Swabia is always churning out. And it's so food efficient that your opponent's going to be building an army to push out with over time. Second TC coming up. So, yep, looks like Corv agrees. It's going to have to be free TC. I actually love that we've got a Manganai that looks somewhat reasonable. At first sight, the stats kind of look OP. I don't think it's that drastic, though. It's a cool unit. I think this is my standout one of this Civ. Like, this and probably the... I like the Men-at-Arms. I don't know if they're good enough, but I like them. Oh, and I absolutely adore the Azutsul and Camelback. Arch Ranger's coming up. It's just so difficult to dive this. The good news at least has the 4 ranged armor, so the TC isn't hit hard. But should Gully Deckle choose to start investing in Steeled Arrow, that's where these guys are going to start evaporating. That's the only reason this is working right now, is it's actually Gully Deckle's kind of misplaying. I think he should be valuing the Blacksmith decks a lot more here. He respects the ranged armor. He just doesn't seem to respect the value of steeled arrow. Stuff coming in. Mango hit is going to be big, though. And all of a sudden, before Vanguard is gone, new group is at least coming in. And the good news is this is distracting Gully quite a bit, right? He's not looking forward. He's not looking to aggro. But there's no denying that Eco Lead is getting bigger and bigger. I would expect nothing else from Corvinus than to be a pain in the ass for these type of builds, though. He's always looking at that cheeky player, isn't he? Oh, God. Wait, did he just buy volleys again and then die? He did. Okay, that hurts. So you just spent an extra 60 gold and instant lost it. Cannon placements also now coming in, so expect to say farewell to these raids. I think we're reaching the conclusion of this game. Corvinus is just... He's straw manning right now. There's nothing behind this. He's got a grand total of 6 units. 56 on the other side. Gully Deckle is going to come in for the GG push. It's 2 TC. You've got a defensive landmark that's way too far back to really defend anything that matters at this stage. So your landmarks are definitely getting sniped. And he knows it's over. GG gets called. Good attempt, Corvinus. I actually was impressed with how close he made that look in the mid-game, despite the fact that this is the all-powerful HRE. But unfortunately, looks like Persia may still need a few buffs yet.